No, I remember I waffled for like
You
20 minutes or something.
you like introduced us. I fucking interrupted. I joked about me being sick or something. You yelled at me, and then we got
I
into
didn't
it.
yell at you.
Okay,
Did I yell at you?
a little bit.
I like how
Okay.
the intro every time
Yeah.
seems to just run on.
Just-
Yeah, you know.
This should be
It
the
is
intro.
what it is. It is.
That's why I press record before I actually say the intro line.
Exactly.
In case
Uh-huh.
we say anything funny, so I can keep it in. Otherwise, it's
Okay.
just. Instead, what I get is I get to sit there and stare at Audacity and just be annoyed at how long it takes me to get there.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. Whatever. The intros tend to go on and on, much like the jingle jingle, the Backrooms. Jingle
True.
jingle. I said your favorite word. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Broadcasting live in CINECOLor. That's us. That's me. Us now, I guess. I guess I'm just gonna drag all three of you on. Well, David has to be here. I made him agree to be my co-host, so he has to always be here. But I guess it's
not.
just...
I get sent to the back rooms.
He signed. He was forced to sign a contract in blood.
Something like that.
Yeah, and not adhering to the contract sends you to the fucking anyway. Hi. We're talking about the Backrooms today. I just saw this yesterday. Today's Tuesday, right? I don't know what day it is anymore because I've been
it's
lost
Tuesday.
in the Backrooms. I saw it yesterday, Monday, June 1st, as of recording. And I believe everybody here saw it in a theater except for Jordan, who watched a totally legal slime tutorial.
We watched
the Backrooms.
We watched it through a window, you know.
And what was it that happened to you when somebody got up and walked in front of the screen? It jump scared you or whatever.
It totally scared. There was like one scene. It was like, I think it was when they were like in the kitchen, because like there's like all like those really well done shadows like just in the corners of the room, and then someone in the audience just fucking got up, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. So, you know, you get both experiences, the theater experience and the
I'm broke experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. You
Beyond
too could
broke.
be a fan of the Backrooms even if you're broke.
Yes. And you should.
You should, because it's a good fucking movie. I gotta be honest. I apologize, Creepypasta movie. I wasn't familiar with your game. I thought when they announced, like, it was what, like 3 years ago, like A20 or something. A24 was like, we're making a Backrooms movie, and I'm like, I'd rather kill myself. What are we doing?
I had no interest, like even seeing
none
people
whatsoever.
Even seeing people rave about it like the last couple days, I'm like, whatever.
I had no interest in this until the last couple days when everybody was like, actually, it's pretty good, and I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah.
And then
when I saw
I did go
was going to be a part of this, I knew it was going to be directed correctly.
Yeah,
he came out of the womb as a baby directing movies.
Correct. Actually,
I would say I was on the opposite end of the spectrum from you guys. I was so excited for this movie to come out, but I had prior experience with Kane's channel already.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know about this guy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Voice crack. Somebody killed this bitch. I
Get the shovel.
had no idea. Okay, all right. Okay, the shovel. I'm still alive. Yarg? Buried treasure. Thanks.
Yeah.
I had no idea who this guy was, or that, like, his videos were like the Backrooms thing or whatever. I didn't know there was that much Backrooms shit. I knew about like 2 games and the original post, and then, you know, this movie's about to come out, and I realized there's enough shovelware Backrooms games for Steam to host a Backrooms game sale. And this fucking 20-year-old who made that original video when he was 16 is making this like actual really fucking good piece of art, and I'm sitting here like, dude, I turned 28 in 4 days.
Yeah,
I should kill myself.
Yeah, I had the exact same reaction.
It's rough.
I'm like, oh, this guy's making like movies that fucking put like like outdoing like James Cameron and like established fucking studio directors who've been around for decades, and it took me 9 years to earn a 2-year degree.
Yeah.
Like, to be 100% fair about it, that's kind of been the like what everybody feels online. Like, the movie first came out, a lot of like directors and people were like, "There's no way this kid made this." Like,
Yeah,
there's
I
like
mean,
talk about like
that's
there's a
what's
ghostwriter
funny.
behind it. It's really funny.
Yeah. People are saying that it was ghost directed. It's like, no, man. I mean, sometimes young people are just good at making something. And also, to be fair, this has been his thing for 4 years. I think he
Right.
probably has an idea of how to do it. It's just that now he has support. Also, like, what, 3 or 4 really good, like, modern day like horror directors were working with him on this as producers.
Yes. Yeah.
I know Osgood Perkins was on this. And shit, like, that's not nothing, man. A whole studio team, and I don't know. I don't think it's that hard to, or I don't know.
I think that's
I didn't
what's
make it.
so...
I don't think it's that much of a stretch to think that a guy like this could make it, considering what he was already making, and that they just gave him the resources to do more with it.
I think that's what's so like admirable about this movie, and part of the reason I ended up enjoying it is you can see like you can like watching it the way I did, you can feel that like there was like a lot of love and camaraderie, and like I'm a firm believer in like treating movies as like a collaborative effort between like a team of hundreds, maybe even like thousands of people, in some cases. I know, like, you're always gonna have like your auteurs and people like that, and but like I really respect this movie kind of wearing it on its sleeve that it is something like that. Like, so it's so many people coming together and pooling their talent to create something like this.
Yeah, it rocked. It was really good. It was surprisingly really good. It was like there was just a lot of stuff, like, top to bottom, that made it so compelling. I think there was. So I went to see it with someone, and they pointed out to me, like, I didn't notice this, but I wanted to know if you guys noticed this. Just a really good example of like a very small detail that was present in the film that I think really displays like Kane's like attention to detail or whatever, which I guess makes sense. That's like his whole thing in the actual shorts and everything. But anyway, when we're full spoilers, obviously, who cares? If you're listening to 3 chuds and some broad talk about this movie before you've seen it, that's your problem. Like, when Clark is, or when Mary finds Clark and Pirate Clark shows up, before you see it, he goes, "Don't worry, it's me." And then he steps behind her and chokes her out. Each step that he takes is perfectly synced up with the footsteps of the giant Pirate Clark.
Yeah.
You can hear the thundering stomps, and you see Clark take a step perfectly lined up with each of the steps. So it's like, yeah, he did just say it's me, but it also does, like, it literally I feel that conveys the message the movie was conveying from the very beginning, which is that Clark is this monster and has been the whole time.
Yeah,
Everything's
it's
his
very
fault,
what's the word, diegetic?
Yeah,
like,
it's very good.
Yeah, it's instantly,
yeah.
I love it. It feels like the most literal interpretation of analog horror.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, like, I think the camcorder scenes in this were like some of the best parts of the movie.
They easily are, actually.
The vibe is so different. It's so cool. It's so unique seeing it that way.
The way he does it is really interesting. Because a good amount of these camcorder scenes are just entirely in Blender. He is able to do positional tracking with a physical camera and translate that over into a digital space, which is, well, in Blender. So you get real hand movements, you get real camera shake, you get real
Yeah.
subtle vibrations. But it's all transposed into a digital medium and with the effects attached to that.
Yeah,
You
essentially
can
putting
almost-
the VHS effect over the
You
over the footage or
almost
whatever.
can't tell that it's in Blender.
Yeah,
You can't
Which
at
is-
all, in my opinion.
Kane's really good with
I-
the whole
The,
like
the issue
animating.
is that I know what to look for, and there's a little you can kind of tell just.
Well, you know what, buddy?
But
You're gay.
that's cool. It is June, so
That's it. You're right.
Yeah.
You know,
Pride
and
Month.
that's cool. I
Everyone
wish
is
I was
gay
gay. I wish I was gay. You know, honestly, I forgot.
pass was revoked. Anyway,
They made me straight. Fuck.
Kind of going back to the camcorder scene. By the way, I think the movie does really well because there's a lot of movies that do use camcorder scenes in their stuff, and it just feels real. I don't want to say cheesy, but it's usually cheesy. But
Well,
how
it's
did you
sort of sorry.
how did you guys feel about the camcorder being picked up by Captain Clark right after Clark had dropped it? Because that's like going back to what you were saying about it being him. It's like Clark was just holding the camera 5 seconds before, and it's mimicking him already when he ends up picking the camera up in like corner.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
at that point in time when it started raising, and I was like, okay, and then it started keep going up higher and higher. I was like, oh,
Oh, there's a
no.
bigger one here.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a like actual like capital H horror movie with like this much emphasis on like scale.
yes.
It does a thing with what are apparently called wait, let me check, because they're not all called this, but I think this is just like a behind the scenes. It's definitely never said in the movie, but this is like a behind the scenes term for them, I think. They're called still lifes.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
creatures.
That's in
Yeah.
like the
Gotcha.
actual like
That's what
YouTube
they're listed
shorts.
as in the cast. Also, well, the three people in the kitchen. The big Clark is called Pirate Clark, but the others are called Still Lives. One of them has a fucking name, by the way. Like, hold on, I'm gonna find it and tell you real quick, and I want you guys to tell me if this name is at all familiar to you, because we have the woman and the guy at the table are called Bearded Still Life and Redheaded Still Life in the cast. But the guy in the wheelchair who like turns the light on, he has like a full fucking name. I gotta fucking find it.
Once you do, I want to make a comment about that specific character because I really like that character, even though he's
Yeah,
only there
sure.
for like, yeah. And I'm gonna once you get the name, I'll let you know why.
Yeah. Let me see.
So, yeah.
It's,
I got something to say about the
Archibald
Captain Clark, too.
Leland Sutter. Still.
Oh, that's a good name.
Okay, so
His name, yeah, we have Redheaded Still Life, Bearded Still Life, and Archibald Leland Sutter Still Life.
okay, so the reason why I like that character specifically, not because it has any specific like standout role, it's just the design of it really screams David Lynch.
Yeah.
A lot of this movie is very David Lynch, I think.
It almost makes me wonder what he could have accomplished if he.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the attention to just like this word has a negative connotation, but I'm not using it. But like the droning, like long shots of things is the first thing that comes to mind when I think about that, and I really like that. Like it helps kind of create like intentionally stoking up like the uncanny feeling. Like if you stare at like I'm looking right across my room right now, and I have like these wooden slats, and I'm looking at it, and like if you look at it too long, sometimes it looks like it's like moving or something like that, and that's the exact feeling that I get through like looking at like the titular Backrooms. Like if I just focus on them, it's so fucking unnerving.
Yeah.
I think I gotta be honest. I will. So like I've only seen the first of his shorts. When I went on a vacation before this, I watched it the day after I got back. I was on the phone. I was in a Discord call with you guys when I was at the airport, and I was being delirious. And I was saying Backrooms 5 million times, and I sat there and I watched the first one, in the airport, and like, I like that that this is what the monsters are, rather than, random cable TV head creature thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the
I
thing
don't wait. I'm not saying that it's like I don't know the rest of it, and I'm not saying that there's not more to them, but like as far as like consuming this for the first time, it's just infinitely more compelling immediately that this is what the monsters are compared to that, in my view.
I like that every design aspect is really just about how, like, whatever this anomaly or whatever the fuck it is like hijacking memories and just twisting them into something. It's violating, and like I don't know, like, it's such a cool idea, because like, memories are something that's almost like sacred to us. It's like part of what makes you, it's like how you remember your childhood or your relationships or stuff like that, like shape who you are. So the idea that like some force could turn that into something that it's not is just so ugh.
Yeah.
I like the idea that it also does reflect something of you also.
Yeah.
Like we don't see who kills the kid, right? The guy that went in there with Clark, his employee. He kills the girl. I think that much is obvious. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
he
so
put her in his
heavily
fridge.
it's so heavily implied that you might like a lesser movie would have just shown him doing that.
Yeah. But we don't see which one kills him. But and we do see one other one, or be like, or I guess two, the redheaded one is shown as being violent, like it swings at Clark at some point, and when they're in the kitchen it runs off and kills somebody off screen, which, by the way, quick aside, hilarious to me that she ran off and killed some guy. We didn't even see him. Some other idiot just fell in here and immediately died. Like, just went off and killed him. But I do think, like, in my mind, it was the Clark still life that killed the kid in the first place. And it's like, I think it's reflecting that Clark is a violent person. Like, he's an angry, violent man.
Yes.
And it's all just bubbling under like this mild mannered like veneer that he has.
Yes.
So
sorry. Continue.
No, it's my bad. It's like with the redheaded still life, especially. It's not stated specifically, but that's kind of theorized to be Clark's wife.
Yeah, I figured it was implied pretty heavily, I think.
Yeah, it's because you can instantly, as soon as he walks in the room, the idea of Captain Clark is kind of this angry, drunken, like, mess of Clark that he is at that moment, and seeing her instantly dip out and run away from him is like the showing of their relationship as it was, and like his memories.
I don't think she was running away from him. She heard somebody, she ran off, and then she killed somebody.
Yeah,
no, there's nowhere to go in that room.
No,
like in that kitchen scene,
she disappeared though. She disappeared down that. It's like a hallway.
I could have swore that she tried to run to a corner. It's a dark corner of the room, and she was trying to escape.
I just thought it was like a Oh, maybe that's what we
Yeah,
heard.
no, those
To me, it
footsteps are
looked like
Captain
She
Clark.
was
it looked like
she
it
was
was
scrambling.
it looked like it was a warped hallway, and that makes a lot more fucking sense than killing some random guy off screen.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That-
it's the
Yeah, that's
theory
what
that,
I thought. Was
like,
That's
it's Clark's
crazy.
wife.
Yeah, she heard Clark, like, quote unquote Clark
coming and then she
coming
ran.
down,
Okay,
and she
well then I
fucking
think
scrambled.
it's fucking guaranteed. Like that's directly telling you that that's his wife. Apart
Yes.
from the fact that he scalps her and makes Mary wear the wig when she role
Yeah.
plays his wife. I
Mhm.
think, I didn't
Yeah.
realize that's what was happening. Yeah, I think that's his fucking wife. I don't think there's any fucking question.
And also
okay.
just like he is like very like prior to like the scalping, like he's almost intimate with her, like
Mm-hmm.
like very gentle until
Yeah.
you get to that point. Like what I was saying about like, you know, his persona that he uses when he's in therapy or whatever, like that's not the real him. That's him adjusting.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
and, like masking, and we all do it to some degree.
Which
like
I gotta say, I fucking love that Mary did the same thing. Like she gave up on being a therapist and was like, "You are your brain, you fucking
Yes!
asshole!"
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that
entirely.
was the best.
The-
I love
yeah.
that.
the
Oh,
mask
it's
is
fucking funny.
dropped. Yeah, it's great. You are your brain, you dipshit. That's something that's gonna stick in my vocabulary for a minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's very good.
that's a
It's
really
just-
interesting bit. Oh, sorry, David. Continue. My
Right,
bad.
it's just continuing on that, and then just her following up with, I don't fucking know anything. I don't even know if I'm
Yes.
doing anything right. I don't even.
Yeah, I suck at this actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's good.
it's real interesting too that that's mentioned, because when she does eventually get through to Clark, and it's mainly about the still life, which, by the way, I don't know if Captain Clark is a still life in my opinion, because like what I know about the actual series, he reminds me more of a bacteria, which is like the camera thingies, which isn't like that's what they all are. They're using surroundings around them to build themselves, which is like what they do later on with like human organs. So like when we don't see it on camera, I don't think it's Captain Clark yet, but I could be completely wrong. I'm only saying that because near the end you see it bleed. The still life don't bleed. They have like the clear organs, or
cotton
like
body or
they have like
whatever.
that weird body. So that's
stuff.
my thing about the still life is like I don't think Captain Clark was a still life specifically. I think he was more of a bacteria that built himself on a memory of Clark or something like that.
So, I have a theory that, as called in the film, Pirate Clark.
Yeah.
I feel Pirate Clark isn't necessarily a memory of a person, but as previously stated, is a culmination of
Of who he really is.
emotion. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the
I think that's what makes him different. That's what makes Pirate Clark different from
Mm-hmm.
the still lives, I think. Especially because, like, I think Pirate Clark is the one that's always wandering everywhere. The others are just there.
Sedentary.
They don't
like,
do anything.
Yeah.
The only time we see the redheaded still life when Clark bumps into her by accident in the
Uh-huh.
Christmas room.
Yeah, crazy scene, by the way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
insane. But the other still lives don't move, and when he's there with her, she's not moving, and the Mary still life at the end is not moving either. It's stuck in a spot. But I think Pirate Clark is the one we hear from the beginning, like everywhere.
Yeah.
I think so
Which
as well.
I will say, I think like this isn't really relevant. It's just like it makes me wonder, like, of the rules of this world. Does it make a copy of you the second you enter, or do you not even have to go in there for it to make something out of you? You know,
See, I
like,
forgot
still
to bring
life
it
or
up.
not.
But like that's what I was gonna say is I think Clark, because we know he's in there for a long time. Like we see the mail
Mhm.
piled up at the door, like the outside of the store. It makes
He's
me
been there for
curious
months,
because
yeah,
it let him leave though, because he knows exactly where the entrance is. So like seeing the red-haired girl in there, I wonder if Clark brought his wife there.
I don't think so. I don't think she'd have anything to do with him.
But like, where would
Yeah.
where would the memory of his wife coming from? Because that's like
I think
that's
that's
speculated.
the thing. I think it's
From
more
him.
likely that it can make a copy of you without you having been in there. Or
Yeah, I
like
think it's
because
based-
if it's based on a memory, then it's based on Clark's memories of her or something.
It's gonna be
Because-
it's gonna be based on his. That's what I thought is like is based on his perception of his wife. So, and his perception is that she's lazy and not like grateful for his providing or whatever.
Thing also is that if you look at it that way, the first thing she does when she sees him is go at him.
Yes.
You know, I think that makes a lot more sense because, like, really, there's no fucking way in hell he would convince this woman to go anywhere with him, let alone into the basement of his furniture store when he's obviously acting insane. She divorced him. Like, she's not gonna do that.
There's a lot of like things that kind of clue, like if you're someone who's like been in like a long-term relationship or something like that, then there's some things like stuff like that. Like after you end a relationship, like the first thing you do is you kind of make a villain out of the other person in a lot of cases. Or like I thought of like in hindsight, like the Christmas tree scene, like Christmas is like quite kind of like a sort of an early sort of like crucible for any relationship. I feel like your first Christmas as a couple or something like that, it can make or break stuff like that. So it's sort of like a symbol of like domestic life with another person, and I feel like having that there sort of like really just for me hammers home that is his wife. You know, a couple things like that, and sort of perverting those things, those symbols, or like those representations of like a relationship into that, I think is just like it's great. Like I like it's such a good way to just like quietly explain who Clark is and why he's like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I did look this up. A little fun fact. The reason Archibald has like an actual name is because he's literally like Archibald Leland Stutter is 3 different types of lamp.
Archibald Leland and Sutter.
Yeah, it's just 3 different types of lamps, I guess. It also stands for ALS. So, you know, he's in a wheelchair.
Gotcha.
That's cute.
I will say it was kind of funny when he turns off the light in the dining room, and the first thing he does is he turns his lamp on.
Oh, that made me laugh. So
yeah, I was like, wow.
Thank you.
Also, really here for mood lighting.
Something I didn't notice. I'm just like skimming through stuff. You do see a blurry photo of Barbara in the portrait. She has red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I didn't even remember that.
That could be where it comes from, is like the memory of the photograph, too.
Yeah, that's her. I mean, that's obviously it's built on his memory of her and stuff.
Okay. Kind of deviating off from that a little bit. So what did you guys like the painting on the wall? That shit was kind of crazy.
That's what I've been sat on for the longest in terms of like Backrooms explained. Jingle jingle.
Well, I don't know if it was Clark that did it though.
I think like we obviously have the pirate Clark, that is throwing someone up towards the window that I guess is implied to be Clark because he says he opened the window. So it's like is assuming Clark is the one who drew this, which I don't think we have any reason to think it is or it isn't. Like, what is the implication that the window is like, I see the truth and this place is great or whatever, and that Pirate Clark showed him that, or what the fuck is the window, man? Well, because I think so. Like, I was sitting on this at the end because I think this is what's implied throughout the movie, and I think this is what is set up as sequel bait or whatever. Like, this is what the plot will be in a potential sequel to this. I think Mary's mother has been there, and it drove her nuts, and she came back from the Backrooms insane, which is what led her to locking the place down. And I'm assuming the they're everywhere out there is the still lifes that she thinks are still following her, and that's what drove her to that, because Mary immediately is uniquely suspicious when Clark starts telling her about it and shows her the map. Like, or he starts talking and she's like, okay, you're crazy. Then he shows her the map and she's like, what the fuck? Like, she looks like she recognizes it almost, or not recognizes
Yeah.
it, but like it gives her, she's familiar with it. And multiple times when this stuff is happening and people are talking about this place, she seems to remember her mother. And we obviously get the whole thing with her and the window at the part of the way through the movie that her mother won't let her climb out of. And
Mhm.
near the end, when we see that Mary's mother gets sent to a mental institution, she's staring out the window and won't tear her eyes away from the window until she's pulled away from it. I think obviously the window means something that we didn't get an answer to, but I think that Mary's mother was in there at some point. And what the sequel bait is going to be is, they Phil doesn't know what's going to happen to Mary, but they just want her to talk to him so they can figure something else out about it. I think that something else is going to be, my mother's been here, but like my mom's been here. I thought she was crazy, but now I've seen it, and we're going to learn that created some kind of connection here. And that's why they're not going to like kill Mary or something. They're going to be like, "Okay, well then you have to work with us so we can figure out your ties to this place."
I just realized something right now. And that's, how her whole thing is like opening the window?
Mm-hmm.
What was the one thing she wasn't allowed to do when she was a child?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah. And not only that, but that's also being paralleled with, of course, Clark's shenanigans. And then I would also say that the interview at the end is also sort of like a parallel of her interviewing Clark in some ways. Like, it's another
it's a person lying. It's a person
Yeah.
putting on a facade to get answers
Yeah.
out of her or whatever.
But
yeah, like I said, I think it's set up for a sequel, and that the basis of the sequel that will keep her character present is that her mother's been there before, and that there's some kind of continuity in her and her mother and the Backrooms and all this stuff, and that's what's going to motivate them to not execute her or whatever. They're going to be like, well, I guess we have to keep you around because you have to help us figure out why you matter or whatever to this place.
It might be something different.
Yeah, no shit. It might be something different. Well, yeah.
So
No,
Of course it might be, but I'm saying like that seems like a very easy route to making a sequel to this. And I think it's very clearly left open for a sequel if it makes money, which it very much did.
yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of really
Mhm.
hope they don't. And this is like a personal view, is that it felt, so this is my personal belief on the movie, is that it feels very generalized for like the common audience, which of course it's going to be. It's a horror movie made for everybody. But like Kane's ideas into the actual Backrooms themselves and the story he has written for like his YouTube channel, it's kind of crazy. It kind of goes nuts. And like I don't know if he can get the full story out that he wants if it's just another movie sequel.
I mean,
I think it would depend on if he's creatively attached to it or not. You know how
I mean,
horror
he
movies
didn't
can
write
be-
this one. He's not the
yeah,
writer. He's the
fair.
No.
director. He
Yeah.
used someone else's script. I don't personally, I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't care if they do or not. I don't see why they wouldn't. And I only brought that up because I think that is the read I got the entire movie, was that Mary's mother's been down there before. Like, the second I saw her react to Clark telling her about the place, I was like, she knows about this. She doesn't know about it, but like this is ringing bells for her, and it's because her mother would talk about this shit when she was insane and keeping her trapped in that house. And when she stopped her from going out the window, she's like, they're everywhere. I'm like, yeah, those are probably the still lifes that she thinks are still hunting her or whatever. Like, that was the immediate read I got from that. And
Uh-huh.
I was just thinking, like, if they make a sequel, I think that's a very sensible route to take, to expand the kind of mythos of this place, to, if they're going to make a sequel, to get into the weirder stuff, because now your main character isn't a complete outsider. They're working with with async and stuff, like they're in it. I think that
Right.
sets you up for a much more kind of compelling
More,
mystery,
yeah,
and
more
more of a
expansive.
mystery, and yeah, a more expansive one, and lets you do more with it, in a way that doesn't necessitate you, and because, you know, if you don't want to actually answer the questions, you don't have to, but it positions you to have a character that does more with this place, because now
Yeah.
you're not having characters who get lost and just want to get out. You have a character and characters who want to go deeper and figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the most sense as a continuation of this story, if they're going to do it. But regardless, I stand by the idea that I'm like 100% on the idea that her mom was down there at some point, and that's what drove her nuts.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that until you were talking about it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to me, it's the it's her reaction to the information. It's the way anytime someone talks about the details of the back room, she seems to feel like she makes faces and reacts in a way that seems like she's remembering something. And
Yeah.
like I think you can look into smaller details about it too, like the fact that the window was a focus for her and a focus for her mom when they were wheeling her away in the wheelchair, and just the angle at which they are shot putting their hands in the cement. And like, I said this to myself, I'm not married to this idea, and it doesn't really matter anyway, but I can, there's a world where I can see it's very easy to imagine that the handprints are where she fell in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I think that would very much mimic the original short, where the kid trips and falls into grass and then falls in. I think it's not a stretch to think that might be what happened.
There's
but that's,
clearly
you know,
some kind of intent for
to,
like why those scenes exist.
yeah, and to the
So-
focus on the mother in that scene, and to the focus on the cement handprints, and to the fact that she keeps it with her all the way through, and all that stuff. The fact that she has it on her desk. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, or actually, I guess I'll ask this first. Did you guys see, or do you remember, if she ever brought the handprint with her, like in her pocket, anywhere until before the end? Or was it just like on the table next to her anytime we saw it?
I think she did grab it. I think I do remember her
pretty sure she
distinctly
did.
grabbing it off her desk.
Okay. Well, yeah, off her desk, but like, okay, because like in my mind, what I was thinking, the reason I ask is like, I thought it was interesting that when she went to the Backrooms is when she took it. When she went to go look for Clark in this place, that's when she takes it and keeps it in her pocket, and, you know, obviously uses it to fight off the Captain Clark or whatever.
You could be absolutely right with that theory that you have too, though. Is like her mom going crazy as a kid, like, you know, she's realizing it's real, like, at that point.
Yeah.
So maybe she doesn't think she's coming back from it, which is why she took it with her. It's like, because it's true. That's the only reason I could see her taking it with her, is like if she thinks this is like a one-way trip, which it could just because she thinks Clark is fucking nuts. But
yeah, but
why would you not just bring like mace or something? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's more the other thing, that it's like, you know, she thinks she's realizing that this place her mom talked about is real, or, you know, she's taking her mom back there. That's why she has it or whatever. Because I think what she has is the adult handprint, not the small one. I think. So,
Yeah.
you know, something like that. I think
That's
that's a
what-
reasonable read on it.
Well, we don't know what
that's-
happens to her mom either, though. Too. So like,
Her mom gets put in the asylum.
Yeah, she
Does
gets
she?
she gets
I missed
Yeah,
hospitalized,
we see her after the house first gets torn down. That was the reference I made. It cuts to them in an asylum, and she's staring at the window, and she gets wheeled away, and she won't look away from the window until the nurse turns her away in her wheelchair. and then
Yep.
she gets taken off.
Yeah.
I'm so curious what that means because there's another scene in the movie where we have like a shot out a window and it has that fucking splendor sun. That's what it's called. It's the splendor sun that keeps popping up over and over again in all his works, and it's driving me nuts.
I'm telling you, it's that the window is a thing.
Well,
Something talks about or shows people the window, and she saw it. She saw it down there when she was down there, and it became a fixation. That's what it is.
yeah, the sun's really important in the series too. So
The
not that you would
lore-
know, but when the
lore,
sun
jingle.
when the sun first appears, it's during the first opening of like the complex or like the back rooms. It's at the height of the solar flare. So like the solar flare that it was like 1980 something I think, which like it was the highest solar flare we've ever had in history, is what opens up the like portal into the back rooms. And there's a lot of sun like connections between the actual complex and the story itself, but it's also connected throughout all of Kane's works, including like The Oldest View and some of his other shit he has going on.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's like a personal thing for him or what, but it's been driving me crazy personally because we see it in the movie. We see the splendor sun out the window in the movie.
Jingle jingle.
Also,
Yeah,
I'm pretty
Easter
sure
eggs.
in the painting on the wall, it also right above the window, I want to say, if I remember right, there's also the sun kind of glaring off with like energy. I can't remember if that's where it was specifically, but it's also in the painting.
I feel so lost because I was actually gonna bring this up. Do you? Because I haven't watched any of this other stuff, and this was also a creepypasta, wasn't it?
The original like
That's what it
photos of
was originally,
creepypasta, yeah.
It was on like a
And-
something awful forum or something.
Yeah, and I don't know shit about the only stuff like that. I don't know any of that stuff. So, do you think it's your people like your average person's viewing experience would be enhanced by knowing all that?
No,
shit, or
no, I
not?
think it's entirely Easter eggs
Well,
in my opinion.
Okay.
I can tell you this much. They thought so because if you get to the movie theater early enough, they play an entire "this is where the Backrooms comes from" thing in front of it
Ah.
with like the actual forum post and explaining how it blew up and explaining Kane's series and his connection to it, all of that. It's like a little pre-show that they put together for it. I saw it at my theater anyway.
I would say
That's
I think
cool.
that was just a your theater thing. It was the theater
Yeah, I was
I went
gonna
to
say.
like the Cinemark. We
Really?
didn't see it there.
Yeah.
Damn. Guess you got to go to the Alamo Draft House.
Yeah,
Something,
you gotta.
know.
It's
If you
probably
get
just an
over
explanation of like
pizza or
Kane
some
pixels
shit.
in general.
No, it shows the original forum post. It explains what it is, where it comes from. It explains Kane's short series and his involvement in it, and just like about the Backrooms in general. And I was like, this is for the moms who brought their kids and don't know what this is, which was very funny because there was a mom with her kid sitting right next to us, and the kid kept going, that's the OG Backrooms. That's the mom, that's the guy from this. Like the whole time I would hear him like
That's-
shout whispering to his mom about the lore anytime
Oh, that's
something came
awesome.
up.
That rocks.
It was great.
Oh, so an interesting little factoid like that is like the copies of people. I don't know if you guys noticed, like in the early scenes, like right when the kid gets killed, like right in the beginning and pulled through the door. There's a little there's a guy in like the trash room that's just an async guy. So I don't know if that like accounts to the memory thing or whatever, but it's
There
really
is.
cool. Yeah. There's a dude in an async suit, just like on the ground by like all the clothes and shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Is that when Clark is running away?
Yeah, I think so.
It's hard to see, but yes, it's there. There's a guy in I think it's what it is. It's not a yellow suit that you usually see. It's like a white or gray suit.
See, that's because it's a still life though. Like we've seen that with the other still life before. Is like they're not complete, so they just kind of
Mhm.
appear as like concrete mesh out of the
Oh,
ground.
there's like a hazmat suit
So,
guy.
Yeah. There's like
still life.
yeah,
something like that. Another
Oh.
thing. Do you remember when was Mary? That's her name again?
Yeah.
You remember when like she gets found by Async? It flashes a bunch of X-rays.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all like they don't have any organs.
It's not necessarily that they don't have any organs, it's that there's something definitely physically wrong with each one. Definitely the first one, you notice immediately there's no lungs or any internal organs. I think the other two, you start to see that there's like overdeveloped like eye sockets and stuff, which is strange and interesting. I don't know why that was immediately shown after that, which is starting to make me think about who we're actually seeing towards the end.
I think that they were just checking if she was a still life or not.
See, I don't.
That was them X-raying her.
It's that whole setup at the end there that makes me think. Like, I don't think we're gonna see Mary in another movie because I don't think Asyncs. They're not the good guys, in my opinion.
No.
No, but it's what I'm telling you. I think if they make a direct sequel to this, that's the perfect setup for it. Is that they keep her around because there's something about her that makes her maybe not important, but that she can help them with, so that we have a POV character connected to the first movie who now has a reason to go back in. Because you don't make a sequel to this and make it another bunch of idiots who don't know what it is and are scared of it and want to leave.
No, you don't want the same thing over again. But like, I don't think Asyncs like entirely like gonna just accept the help though. Like at the end there, when they have those canisters set up, that's not for the still life. They know that's not gonna work on them. You can see when they try to. It doesn't.
It subdues the pirate.
No, what subdued the pirate was it getting hit in the skull.
No, because then it got back up, and then it got sprayed as she got sprayed. They both got sprayed as they were running away. It had already gotten back up. Right?
I don't think it had any effect on the still life at all.
No, because it actually didn't have an effect. What really had an effect was her breaking the peg leg.
Yeah,
After that, he was scrambling to get to her. She was knocked out and dazed and confused, but he was approaching off screen.
No, I feel like I think it implies that they are affected by it, because I think these are traps to capture them. You see them.
I don't think it's for the creatures.
You see them doing surgery on one in a back room when she's being let through.
That's that's Captain Clark after it got caught. We can presume
that's a different person. That was a different person. That was not Clark.
No, it was Clark.
That was Clark.
No, it wasn't in the back room.
Yeah, it was tied up with tape.
The one with tape and everything. It had the peg leg and everything. Yeah.
Was it tape?
Yeah, that's Clark.
No, I don't remember. No, I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, that's Clark. So I don't think those are set up.
It was more like cellophane.
Because it looked like it was just draped over the table. Yeah. It looked like a completely different person to me.
Unless they're showing like 3 different showings, I don't think so. I think that was the Clark entity. Because I think Async's trying their best to keep the people that are falling in contained in there, which is I think why they have those set up in general, is to not lure creatures in, but to lure like actual people who have fallen in, like to capture them or kill them. Because that's another thing, is they don't want the complex getting out there. So that's another thing. Like if you actually watch the YouTube and everything, and like you see it, there's a scene in like the actual one that we get from I think it's, you have to like, it's some code I think you have to not unlock, but like a decode or whatever. They kill one of their own scientists at one point because he theorized to be dead.
That's obvious. I think they basically say that to Mary at the end. She knows they're gonna like kill her or whatever because she knows now. Like that's implied, at least. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, but I don't think that trap was set up for an entity though. I think they're definitely trying to erase anybody that survives the Backrooms long enough to find an exit to take them and get rid of them specifically. Because Async's not a good guy company. They're not the bad guys, but they're not the good guys.
Yeah.
What the back? Yeah, it's a good movie.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was like we said earlier, kind of surprising how much I enjoyed it. I will say, because I asked the question and then you guys talked about it, but hearing Dan kind of talk a lot about like the like extended material or whatever, I do I don't think my enjoyment of the movie is lessened by not having, but if I had to like I wouldn't know half the shit that like the context behind this if you guys hadn't talked about it at all. And I do think that is like a point that I usually critique in other in like games or movies or shows that do something similar like that. So I figured I'd just point it out. But other than that, like I don't know, like so I mean I haven't seen a lot of movies this year, but this is definitely up there for me.
That's
I
like a
will
big
say-
thing. Oh, sorry, David.
So I was gonna say, I will say when you going back when you were talking about how you made the realization that it had to do with memories.
Yes,
It was really funny. Well, I can't see, I couldn't see how you expressed, but I could definitely heard it over voice chat. Like the moment it clicked in your mind, it's like, oh my god, it has.
Yeah, it was the
memories.
it was when you see like the shitty like houses that his like assistant manager and her boyfriend who's like the
Mhm.
like the camera guy. It's when you
Yeah.
see like their like street or whatever recreated in the back rooms, and I'm like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's another thing right there too. Is I believe, like I think Ruby's theory is right. I think her mother was definitely there. 'Cause I don't know if being a kid and remembering your house, it'd be like the burning memory. You wouldn't remember everything about your childhood home, but we see an exact replica going down through like her house when the windows are
Mhm.
covered and everything. It makes me
Yeah.
curious if that's like an actual representation of like her mother's memories of
Well,
that
if-
exact location.
I feel like if something sufficiently like traumatic or whatever happens,
Mm-hmm.
like you know, like I have memories from very early in life
Mhm.
that I was probably too young to like remember, but I remember extremely vividly because like I got like I heard like some fucking gunshots or something, like because I didn't
Yeah.
grow up in the safest part of Dayton. Or stuff like that. So you know, like it's one of those things, and like we know, like part of Mary's trauma comes from like her like childhood home being torn down or whatever. So I definitely like if I had to theory craft or something like that, my mine would be like, oh well, like something when she was a kid, her like a portal or whatever to the back rooms opened in their home, and like that's what eventually led to that.
I think I don't think the copy is like her mother's memories, because I think that when her mom got back out, she never went back because she thought she was still in it. That's why she went
Yeah.
crazy and sealed up their house, right? I think that Mary's trauma is obviously focused on this, and it makes the memory crystal clear. It implies as much, considering that she has multiple nightmares and flashbacks to it throughout the film. She knows that living room perfectly. We saw that scene after she had been captured by Async and she was down there. This was the place now, creating from her memory now, because it was we don't know how long she's down there, obviously, but we see the transition from the house down into the back rooms at the end, like after she's already been taken. And I think that it's created this now that she has been there. And so I think what part of what it could be, Clark, after being there for months and like living there, got from there came the copy of his kitchen, of his house. I think it's like it once you're in there, it creates a place for you. You know, you have a place, a spot where in this
Oh,
case
like
we
yeah.
only see this with two characters, so it's not necessarily a guarantee. But what room did it create for Clark, and what room did it create for Mary? For Clark, it created the kitchen where he had the fight with his wife that got him kicked out of his house, his chief trauma that he blames for everything. It created for Mary the room with the window that she almost got to climb out of, the room she was in when the bulldozer tore down her door. It creates the place that is the center of their trauma, their chief memory of their trauma that who knows, that broke them, that made them who they are or whatever. It created this kitchen because this is where Clark was his truest self, and this is where the Clark that lives now was born in the aftermath of his fight with his wife that led to him being kicked out, that led to them getting divorced. That place, that living room created Mary. It created this woman who has held on to that memory the rest of her life and presumably let it motivate her to be who she was. I think that's one of the things the movie suffers with, is that Mary's very flat. Mary does not have much of a character because she doesn't get much chance to be explored while the focus is on Clark, and then it jumps to her being lost in the back rooms or whatever, and we just kind of get flashbacks to her trauma,
Right.
not to the rest. We don't see much of her outside of it, but I think that's what's sort of being implied. That's what's being set up, is that this place is pulling these people. And I think what is, like, if I were to theory craft, jingle jingle, I think what this place could be doing is, you know, it draws in people like this, people who have some severe or intense memory of trauma or of a place or of something like this that makes them a good candidate for whatever, you know, for still lives, for whatever it is that is being made here, if it is to have any purpose at all. I don't think it has to have one. I honestly think it's better if it doesn't have some kind of ultimate purpose, that it just kind of does this without meaning. But that could be a
Right.
direction you take it, you know, if it has
Yeah,
more intentionality, because we don't see, obviously we don't know them, and there's no time in the movie to see it, but we don't see anything like that happen to any async people. There's no other special rooms. Like, all these rooms were random hallways, but the closest we got to special rooms was the laundry room, the furniture room,
Which
the kitchen for Clark, and the living room for Mary. Those are like the special rooms we get. The furniture room, obviously, because I mean, there's furniture everywhere down there, and I think that entire, because okay, we know the Backrooms is like basically effectively infinite because of, you know, whatever. So obviously there's huge sections of it, but this part was right up against the portal to the furniture store, so it's a replica of the furniture store. All the immediate rooms and hallways around that portal look like the furniture store or whatever. Sure. And obviously the kitchen comes from Clark, and the living room from Mary, and then there's the laundry room, which, you know, could be whatever. But I think we don't see that from anybody else. I think that's important, that we only see these two people with these two issues. It created these two rooms based on them, you know.
Well, what I think the laundry room actually has to do with Kat and Bobby.
Yeah, because their house was like super trashed.
Well, it's not only that, but you actually see one of his shirts there, which is the end apartheid.
Oh, that was his?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's wearing that in an earlier scene.
Oh.
We were talking about that because we were trying to place the date before the VHS told you explicitly when
1990.
Yeah.
It's
because
So it's super interesting because going off of that too is like the street we see. We don't know whose memory it's from because it could be from Clark's memory too, since it's only the one house over and over
Yes.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was skimming stuff earlier, which is where I saw the thing about the portrait of Clark's wife having red hair. I don't know if I don't think this is confirmed. This is just a thing that is said in that article that I read. That apparently it is the pirate Clark who kills the async guy at the beginning. I don't think so, right?
It's so
Because there's no way to know that.
Well,
We don't know if
there kind of is, and
Because like I think it
you
implies.
have to. So
Sorry, go ahead.
what it is? It's hard to make out because
It is hard to make out.
blurry. It's blurry.
Sometimes there's too much tongue.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, it's hard to make out because it's blurry. It's VHS filter. Yeah. But you do see the peg leg.
Oh, you do.
You do. The issue is that at that point in time, if you try to look at it, at the shape, it doesn't quite look like a pirate, which is weird. But the peg leg is there. It might be.
Because who knows? Is it a pirate or a sultan? Who knows? He doesn't know what he is.
I think that's one of my favorite.
It's so good.
That's where.
And then also him looking at the other dude that's successful. It's really funny. He's like, you motherfucker.
See, that's where my theory of like it not being a still life specifically comes from, is because the bacteria uses objects that it has around it to create itself. So like when we see the one in the actual like first ever Backrooms thing, it's like the microphones and the stands and everything's made out of the wires. So it having access to like chairs and stuff, and then it later takes the guy's body. It only like, I don't know, it feels like it solidifies that it's like not the same as the still life.
The peg leg was like a chair leg, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So like my idea is that it later made itself to like not resemble Clark specifically, but to make the full memory of Clark after it got the organs and the skin and the meat it needed to do it. It's not the same as like the still life building itself out of the actual material of the ground.
But I feel like it looks too clean. Like it's obviously wrong in shape. But I feel like it doesn't look stitched together enough to be like a thing that built itself out of meat to look like Clark.
No.
But that's like the thing with like the bacteria too, is like it doesn't look like it's like just mushed together. But like cuz like there's in I think found footage 2, which again I'm going into like stuff that's not related to the movie. The legs are on top of its head. Like it's the Backrooms doesn't understand the idea of building you. So the way that it looks like distorted and mushed is because it's based off of like the memory of it. And so like it's kind of like trying to figure out like the wrongs and the rights of like people, I guess is the best way to put it. And it's the same thing with like it bleeds. It's using blood somehow or like some sort of like it's weird. It's really weird. Interesting, because it's not the same as the still life, because as we know the still life doesn't have any blood or anything, so it bleeds. It was there before, but we didn't see its whole body, and then it took the body of the guy. That's kind of why I sit on it being like the mycelium, like, you know what I mean?
The way that I saw it, and I think I might have already went over it, but the way that I always saw it was that Pirate Clark is the manifestation of his anger, his hatred, that is slow. Well, I say slowly, but that has built up over time. Him working there.
Yeah, I like his rage is why he's like the Pirate Clark is so physically imposing.
Yeah. Like him working there, him blaming everything on everyone else, him eating himself.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's interesting that happens as soon, like quite literally right after he says, "You can even eat them."
Yeah.
To the still lifes, which makes me think that it mentally confirms Pirate Clark is like, okay, this is acceptable. I can eat people now.
I also
Yeah,
think it's just that he was. It allowed him to be there when they were the same, but when he
Changed.
he went against his natural being, which is to be angry and aggressive, it was like, okay, well then you're not allowed to stay anymore. I eat you now.
Well, yeah, because it's.
Yeah.
She said he's he's not going to change, and he said it
Mhm.
was like okay, which is like a change in his character itself, because he's looking for change that entire time, and as soon as
Mhm.
he's
Mhm.
not looking for it, it turns on him. Like he's not the same guy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's fucking deep.
I mean, even like the beginning of it is kind of crazy, because that's the thing, is like it's the parallel between the two characters. Like it's the stagnation of change, I think, in the entire thing is like the two characters are fighting to change throughout the entire movie. Is like how I kind of feel about them, because they're like
Mhm.
they're counterparts, but they're not. Like
That's 'cause
Clark
they're
doesn't want
like-
to change.
They're like foils because Clark wants to change himself, and Mary wants to change other people or whatever.
Mhm.
You know.
Other
Yeah.
people and kind of like her own. Well, it's other people, and technically, I would have to say herself as well, but more so focusing on changing other people.
I don't know if this is like this could totally just be like sometimes the curtains are just fucking blue situation, but I do love like you guys are talking about with change, and I would say like probably 80% of Mary's scenes are her sitting in a chair.
Yeah, but it's also her sitting in a chair, thinking about her past. Like,
Sure. Yeah. But I don't know. You talking about that, and it just like that struck me, is like that's probably not anything, but like it is like an interesting because like it's the whole like sitting is the new smoking kind like thing is like it's a very passive thing, and there's really only like one major scene in the movie where she's like very active, and like that is like the most important pivotal oh my god, I can't fucking talk, pivotal scene in the movie. It's where the entire like everything sort of like, not everything because there's things you still don't understand, but like the nature of the Backrooms becomes more clear. It's what leads to the exposition with Phil, and just like sort of the glimpse into like the human component of what's going on here,
Mhm.
rather than the supernatural.
Yeah, I don't think it's supernatural at all. Like don't get me
What
wrong.
else would you call it?
Well, there's like, so that's the thing, is like it doesn't have to make sense for us. It's not our reality. You're literally going against your own version of like existence in that realm.
So it's
That's like,
supernatural. It's beyond what is
Yeah.
natural.
from what we can understand, I guess, if you want to, like, from a human understanding, yeah. But like
You
the
just have to
complex
have a
itself
certain
doesn't need
IQ
to.
understand the Backrooms.
No,
Yeah,
it's just the complex
true.
doesn't have to exist in your understanding. It can have its own entirely completely rules, which is like with the mural on the wall. It's trying. I don't think the mural was made by Clark. I think it was made by the Backrooms itself, because like it has on the wall like chairs don't bleed blood, and like stuff like that. It's almost like it's trying to talk
Maybe
to
yours
itself
doesn't.
about understanding. Because like if you read through some of them, it's like it feels like magic, but it's not. It's, you know, chairs don't bleed blood, and it has the big mural of like Pirate Clark. It's like it's trying to understand itself through the memories of others. And I don't know. It's just, it kind of feels like it's not. I guess you call it supernatural. I don't know.
I don't think there's a better word for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. My 2 cents is, it is not knowing anything about like any other stuff is like it is maybe not actively, but it's using it's building distorted memories based, like as Ruby pointed out, based on like a singular or pivotal oh my god, I can't say that word, what is wrong with me, a key traumatic event in someone's life, and exposing like in the process exposing to someone who they really are.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the like a sort of takeaway to this, right? Is this insistence that it remembers you wrong, it remembers things wrong, but I think what it does is it just reflects
It cuts
the truth back
to
at
the
you.
core. Yeah.
Yeah. It is showing you who you really are through this visually incorrect interpretation of you, you know, based on memories or wherever it is that it pulls this stuff from, I think.
I think the big thing is memories for it, because like even like the other stuff, it's a lot of memories that we see from like
A lot of
it's deep. It's
Find
long
out
and twisting.
there's a lot of
Find
like
out
the back
more in Backrooms 2 Shattered Memories.
in back roomier.
2 room, 2
Hey,
bed.
Back rooms
find out
level
in the
2,
front
pool
rooms.
level. In the front rooms. Find out more in Backrooms 2.
Well,
Gay
okay,
still
so
lives.
I was gonna say this.
I'm a gay still life Dracula.
I'm gonna say this. Those are all solid theories. There is just the other theory that it probably is just a really big furniture store.
That's right,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you for
That's- hold
talking
on.
about
Real quick. That's my favorite like meme that's come out of this is that Clark's just stealing furniture for his furniture store.
from the back rooms. Yeah. Taking it back out. Infinite.
Yeah.
See what the
That's
store's
why
like, dude,
cheap particle board
infinite money
bullshit.
glitch.
God damn.
What if
Yeah.
you put a big pile of money in the store and waited? Would it make another big pile of money in there?
It's gonna be like distorted money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Probably
funny.
would make
It's
it.
a
You gotta remember, like-
counterfeit
Actually,
money.
it's really interesting because like the stool was normal, but like there were like chairs in there that just were like didn't have any
Well-
back or like upside down.
As previously stated, it distorts everything it tries to remember.
It's just Gen AI.
It is. Yeah.
It's just a giant. It's just a giant Gen AI machine.
It's somehow
what
more
they don't
ethical
tell you.
though. It's somehow more ethical though because it's not just all revenge porn.
Yeah,
True,
that's
and
the
it's
thing.
not
You
using a
go
lot
in
of
deep
water.
enough, you start to see. I mean, it kind of was revenge porn. He did kind of recreate.
Oh
his life.
yeah, that is. You know
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, it all got a little bit too real. Next thing you
Yeah,
know, the Backrooms
can't
is going
end
to
it there.
spawn a face and call itself Mecha Hitler. Thank you,
Oh,
everybody.
no.
Thanks for talking about the Backrooms.
Uh,
I don't want to end on.
We're ending on Mecha Hitler.
can we not
everybody. I'm
end
gonna
on
press the
Mecha
button.
Hitler?
Say goodbye.
Oh,
Say
no.
say goodbye.
Bye.
Say Auf Wiedersehen.
No.
Auf Wiedersehen.
No.
All right, that's it. Good night.
the rooms are bad.